Well, welcome back to the kitchen here on Fat Daddy Sports. I am Craig, and if you're new here, hit that like button, drop a comment, and make sure to subscribe. We are on a journey right now trying to hit our first 100 subscribers here on the channel. Let's jump right into it. Today, we are taking a look at another mock draft. In the past, I have picked where I was going to pick from. Today, we're going to do a little bit of a random number generator and try to keep that element of surprise, I guess, and see where we're at. We will jump right into it right now. So we've got the max number at 12. This is a 12-team PPR. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex with 4 bench spots. Same as every other draft, but we're just going to pick from a random spot. We're going to hit this generate button 3 times just to give it that little bit of drama. So without further ado, 1, 2, 3. Draft number 9. I like that spot, or draft spot number 9. I like that spot in the draft, that 9-10 position. We'll go again. Number 10. All right, and we will go one final time. 1, 2, 3. We will be drafting from the 8th position. That is not somewhere that I generally like to pick from, but you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. I tell my kids that all the time. So we will go ahead and jump in here. We'll claim spot number 8. Again, this is a 12-team PPR. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, flex, and 4 bench spots. We will jump into it here. We'll go ahead and start the draft. And to nobody's surprise, Christian McCaffrey will go number 1 overall, to everybody's surprise. That's what you get when you draft with bots. I don't get it. I don't understand why Christian McCaffrey just went number 1 overall, but hey, you have to adapt on the fly. So CMC, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson are the top 3 off the board. And then you go to Jamar Chase, JSN, Puka Nacua, and CeeDee Lamb at that 107, which leaves us with Jonathan Taylor, Amon-Ra, James Cook, and Justin Jefferson as the top 4 available. This is a tough spot to be. I like Jonathan Taylor there. I really like Amon-Ra there. I've talked about how I would probably take Amon-Ra here at this 105. What I don't like picking from this position is who you get on this comeback here in the second round. I'm going to take a chance and hope that I can get a guy like Omarion Hampton or Chase Brown. I'm going to go ahead and take the sure thing in Amon-Ra. I like Jonathan Taylor. I could make the case for him there, but ultimately I think Amon-Ra has such a safe floor week in and week out as a top 3 or 4 wide receiver. I'm going to go ahead and take Amon-Ra in this PPR format. I just am a little worried about Jonathan Taylor's usage and some question marks there in Indianapolis, but nonetheless, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Justin Jefferson, and Devon Achane round out round 1. Ashton Genty, Saquon Barkley, Drake London, and Omarion Hampton go in the second round. So we are left right back here. Our best available running backs are Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, Derrick Henry, and Jeremiah Love. The wide receivers available are A.J. Brown, George Pickens, Nico Collins, and Rashee Rice. We're going to go ahead and take a guy who I think has an extreme amount of upside, and we haven't even seen it yet. An explosive player in an explosive offense, should get plenty of work and plenty of touchdown opportunities, and that is Chase Brown. Sure up that running back 1 position for me. We'll start with Amon-Ra and Chase Brown. After my pick goes A.J. Brown, George Pickens, Brock Bowers, Ken Walker, Neighbors, McBride, Josh Allen, Nico Collins, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Rice, Love, Olave, and Higgins. So it is back to us at the 308, and we will take a look over at the wide receiver position. Typically in my first 3 rounds, I do like to have 2 running backs. This year, I feel like the running backs dry up super quick, and I feel like there's a run of receivers in that 5th, 6th round. But we'll take a look here. Nonetheless, in the 3rd round, we've got Tet McMillan, Devonta Smith, Ladd McConkey, and Emeka Ibuka as our top 4 wide receivers available. Take a peek quickly at the tight end position. Colston Loveland is the best available there after McBride and Bowers come off the board in the 2nd round. I don't love taking Loveland there personally. We'll look over to the running back position. Kyron Williams, Breece Hall, Javonte Williams, and Bucky Irving. Breece Hall is got my interest a little bit, but obviously already dealing with that injury. They say he'll be be back in a few weeks, should be good to go before the beginning of the season. We're going to go with a guy who has some questions from me in splitting some time. I think that his backup or his 1B is a very talented player, and I'm a little nervous, but the touchdown upside is obviously there for him. He gets so much work, and he has been a top 10 back for numerous years, and that's Kyron Williams in Los Angeles. Should be another good year for the Rams offense. Kyron has his questions and his issues that scare me a little bit, but we'll go with him. After Kyron goes Javonte Williams, Lamar Jackson, Ibuka, Breece Hall, Ladd McConkey, Bucky Irving, Tet McMillan, and Colston Loveland. If I could have gotten Loveland here at the 405, I would have loved that pick, but he goes at the 404 right before it gets back to me, and we are now sitting here with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chase Brown, and Kyron Williams on our team. So we've got our 2 running backs, we've got a receiver, and now we will take a look at the wide receiver position, see if we can't shore that up a little bit. Devontae Smith is the number 1 option. He's obviously also banged up right now, dealing with some injuries. Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson, and Jalen Waddle. We'll look at the quarterback position. Lamar just came off the board, so the top 2 quarterbacks just came off the board. One at the end of the second round and one at the end of the third round. We are left with Drake May, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, and Jalen Hurts as the top 4 options. Nothing I love there. We'll look at the running back position. Cam Scatterbo, Travis Etienne, David Montgomery, and Travion Henderson. Okay. We'll look at the tight end position. Tyler Warren, Sam Laporta, Tucker Kraft, and Harold Fannin. This is one of those classic situations where if you love a guy, you've got to take him before maybe his ADP or where you think he should go. A guy like Tyler Warren, who I think could be a target monster this year for the Colts, there's zero chance that he gets back to me here at the 508. So if I am very convicted and my gut is telling me to go with Tyler Warren, I have to take him here, regardless if it's a little bit earlier than where he typically goes or where I think he should go. I have to take a guy like that if I want him because he's not going to be back to me here in the 5th. Devonta Smith, if he wasn't already banged up, didn't already have some question marks, I may take him there. I am a little bit worried about that Philly offense. Zay Flowers, I'm typically just always out on. The touchdown upside is never there for him. Maybe with this new offense, maybe it will be, but I'm just not generally a big fan of Zay Flowers. For fantasy football, Garrett Wilson, a lot of questions there in the Jets offense. I'm going to go ahead and just stick my neck out there and take my tight end early with Tyler Warren in the 4th round. I don't usually love doing that. I usually like to be one of those first guys to take a Bowers or a McBride, or I just completely punt at the position. But since this is a mock draft and that's what these are for, is to practice and try some new things, we'll go ahead and take Tyler Warren. After the Warren pick goes Waddle, Devontae Smith, Flowers, Wilson, Burden. So that typical wide receiver run there in the 4th round goes. And then Travis Etienne Jr., Devontae Adams, somebody that I really liked. But I'm just not in a spot where I'm probably going to get him here in the early 4th round. Cam Scatterbo starts the 5th round for us. Mike Evans, Drake May, Jamison Williams, Terry McLaurin, Quinshon Judkins, and Travion Henderson at the 507. So it's back to us at the 508. We currently have 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 2 running backs, and a tight end. We could really use to shore up that running back 2. We're looking at guys like David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, Bashal Tutin, and Jadarian Price for the running back position. At the wide receiver, we've got DJ Moore, Carnell Tate, Roma Dunze, and Christian Watson. And coming in at the quarterback position, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, and Caleb Williams. That's just a range of quarterbacks for me that I'm not overly convicted to take any of those guys. If I start the draft off with a Jamar Chase, even if I guess I get T. Higgins somewhere in one of those early rounds, I'll take Joe Burrow, and I like to get that stack, but I'm not typically trying to get Joe Burrow. I think, having Chase Brown here on my team, I don't necessarily want to have Joe Burrow. So I'm typically out on these middle round quarterbacks. Same thing with the tight ends. I typically like to be one of the first to get one of those elite guys, or I like to punt at the position, especially at quarterback this year. There's so many names deep in the draft that I think I could wait on. So we will just jump back over to the running back position. This is a position that I think we could capitalize on here and get a guy like David Montgomery, who I really like the upside there in Houston. DeAndre Swift, who always seems to be a running back too, no matter what team he's on, no matter what the year is. It's just year after year, he is consistent as an RB2. And then a guy like Bashal Tutin, who has a ton of upside, a ton of potential. Who knows how that running back room is going to shake out in Jacksonville? I'm going to go with the safe pick here in the 6th or the 5th round. I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift. Kyle Monungai already dealing with a little bit of injury there in camp for the Bears, and I think DeAndre Swift is going to play for maybe the best offense in football this year, that Ben Johnson offense. They'll get him the ball early and often. Right after him goes Joe Burrow, DJ Moore, Jalen Hurts, David Montgomery, Christian Watson, Carnell Tate, Bashal Tutin, and Roma Dunze at the 604. It is back to us. We are currently looking at a team of Chase Brown, Kyron Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyler Warren, and DeAndre Swift. So we could really use another wide receiver. We're looking at Brian Thomas, DK Metcalf, Marvin Harrison, and Jordan Tyson as the top 4 wide receivers. We've got Laporta, Jaden Daniels, Tucker Kraft, and Harold Fannin as the top 4 players off the board right now. I don't need a tight end at the moment. I've already talked about the quarterback position. Jaden Daniels obviously has a ton of upside. He could finish as the quarterback 1, but I don't typically like to take a quarterback in those middle rounds. So we'll jump back over to the running back position. A guy like Jadarian Price, he worries me a little bit, just doesn't catch passes. So in this PPR format, I don't know that I love that pick. Jalen Warren, who knows what to expect with that Pittsburgh team. Chuba Hubbard, I am out on big time. I love Jonathan Brooks. I think Jonathan Brooks is going to run away with that job by Halloween. And then you've got RJ Harvey in Denver. Don't love that pick either. We'll go back over to the wide receiver position. As my wide receiver 2, we're going to go ahead and take a guy who, this is drying up quick, but we're going to go ahead and take Brian Thomas. We're going to believe in the talent that was there rookie year. We're going to say that his sophomore slump was an outlier, and he's going to bounce back this year for that Jags offense. A lot of mouths to feed, but I think Liam Cohen is a very good offensive mind, and I think he'll deliver in getting Brian Thomas the ball early and often. So we are looking at Chase Brown, Kyron Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Thomas, Tyler Warren, and DeAndre Swift. Coming back to us here in the 7th round, let's take a look at that quarterback position now. We're looking at Jackson Dart, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, and Matthew Stafford as the top 4 positions. This is a good learning experience here in the draft. I'm at that 708 position. It's obviously going to come back to me in this snake draft at the 805. So I'm going to look at the teams that are going to pick after me before my next pick. We've got Team 9 already has Joe Burrow as a quarterback. Team 10 has Lamar Jackson as a quarterback. Team 11 has Jalen Hurts as their quarterback. And Team 12 currently does not have a quarterback. They're going to have 2 picks, the 712 and the 801. With one of those picks, I could see them taking Jackson Dart, and that's okay. I'm higher on Justin Herbert than I am Jackson Dart. So I'm going to let it ride at the quarterback position. I'm going to look elsewhere. I'm not going to force myself into taking a quarterback right now just to fill out my roster because I have 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex, and I have to have that quarterback for my starting lineup. I'm not going to fall into that trap. A lot of people do that, and they get themselves in trouble, and they feel like they have to just fill out the roster. You do not have to do that. There's no rule that says you have to do that. We're going to go over to the running back position, and we're going to see Ramondre Stevenson, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, and Kyle Monungai. Obviously, I'm out on Monungai as a Swift owner. J.K. Dobbins is a little intriguing to me. I'm a little early on ADP. Again, if there's somebody that you love, you got to take them early. I don't know that I love J.K. Dobbins, but he is a starting running back in what should be a good offense. We'll look over at the wide receiver position, a position that I am hurting at the moment. Jordan Tyson, this ADP is going to fall. He just recently hurt that hamstring. They said he's going to be out a few months. That ADP is going to continue to fall. So I'm going to pretend he is not even there. So we're looking at Cortland Sutton, Michael Wilson, Mekhi Lemon, and Chris Godwin as the best available wide receivers. We're going to go ahead and take a guy. I know there's a lot of buzz right now about Jalen Waddle being the new guy in Denver. Cortland Sutton quietly has been a very, very solid fantasy wide receiver over the last few years. And I think that's going to continue this year. I'm worried about Waddle's health. It always has been an issue. It already has been an issue in camp. We're going to go ahead and take Cortland Sutton as a bench wide receiver. Hope that maybe he can pop off for the Broncos. Right after him goes Jordan Tyson, Michael Wilson, Harold Fannin, Jackson Dart, as I talked about, went to Team 12 at that 7-12. The 801 goes Mekhi Lemon, Kyle Monungai, Ramondre Stevenson, and Chris Godwin go next. So we're going to go back over to the all category, and you see this quarterback that we wanted, Justin Herbert, is sitting there as the best available player. We're going to still not feel like we have to be picking a quarterback here because, as you can see, a lot of other teams that are going to pick again before me have quarterbacks. So we're not going to necessarily jump into the quarterback. We may, but we're not going to just automatically say we have to take a quarterback. We'll look at the running back position. Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, Blake Corum, and Bill Krosky-Merritt. Nobody really jumps off the page to me there. At the wide receiver position, you have Alec Pierce, who is banged up. You have Jacoby Myers, who I am high on in Jacksonville. I like that pick there. But I feel like that I could wait a little bit and get Jacoby Myers a little bit later than this pick right here. Michael Pittman and Jordan Addison. So now I'm at a position where I'm kind of between Jacoby Myers, whose ADP is the 102.3, and Justin Herbert, who the ADP is at 84.4. Well, I can guarantee you that Justin Herbert is not going to be there when it comes back to me. Some of these other quarterbacks that I like might be there, but Justin Herbert, who I think could be a top 5 quarterback this year, is not going to be there when it comes back to me at the 908. If I go into the wide receiver and look at Jacoby Myers, his ADP is 102. So, especially in a mock draft with bots, I can almost guarantee that Jacoby Myers will probably be here at this 908 pick. So I am going to go ahead and get my quarterback in Justin Herbert. Right after him goes another quarterback of Trevor Lawrence, who I thought may be there the next time I pick. He is not. Dalton Kincaid, Rico Dowdle, Matt Stafford, George Kittle, Quentin Johnston, J.K. Dobbins round out the 8th round. In the 9th goes Michael Pittman, Jordan Addison, Alec Pierce, and our pick of Jacoby Myers goes to the 904. Just 4 picks before he gets back to me. So you don't always win that guess, but Jacoby Myers made it a lot longer than I guarantee you Justin Herbert would have made it. I bet that Justin Herbert probably would have been the pick after me had I not taken him, since Team 7 did take a quarterback. But nonetheless, at the 905 goes Travis Kelce, Jake Ferguson, and Blake Corum at the 907. We have a full team. We need 3 bench spots. Currently, we have Justin Herbert, Chase Brown, Kyron Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Thomas, Tyler Warren, DeAndre Swift, and Cortland Sutton. I feel pretty good about my running backs. I like the touchdown upside of Brown and Williams, along with the safe floor of the DeAndre Swift. We'll take a quick peek at the running back position, but I feel pretty good. Obviously, I want to get more than just 3 when I leave this draft, but I've got Bill Krosky-Merritt, Kenny Gainwell, Jordan Mason, and Aaron Jones there. And then Jonathan Brooks, somebody who I spoke very highly of, could be my next round pick. We'll see. At the wide receiver position, we've got Wan'Dale Robinson, Josh Downs, Jaden Reed, and Stefon Diggs. We're going to go ahead and take a guy who I think's ADP is probably going to go up a little bit, a guy who was just signed, who just came off a big year last year for the Patriots, and that is Stefon Diggs in Washington. I like him a little bit more than these other wide receivers that are ahead of him, Wan'Dale Robinson. Although I like the talent there, I'm a little scared of Cam Ward and his decision-making. Wan'Dale made a living for the Giants going on those deep balls, and I don't know that Cam Ward is going to get rid of the ball on time and get it to Wan'Dale Robinson. Josh Downs, who knows what's going on in Indianapolis? They just brought in Keenan Allen from the retirement home. Who knows who's going to lead that team? And I've already got Tyler Warren on my team. If that passing offense is not very good, I don't want to have 2 pieces of it. So I'm going to stay away from Josh Downs. Jaden Reed, the talent is there. The injuries are also there. Christian Watson, Green Bay, who knows what's going on there. I'm going to go ahead and take Stefon Diggs and just hope for a resurgence, and even not even a resurgence. He had a solid year last year, and I think he elevates the floor of that Washington Commanders team. Terry McLaurin has needed somebody there to help him out, and I think Stefon Diggs will do just that for the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels. Right after him goes Wan'Dale Robinson, Pat Mahomes, Jaden Reed, Bill Krosky-Merritt, Aaron Jones, Josh Downs, Kenny Gainwell, and Isaiah Likely. We will jump back to the all category and look at who is available. Don't need another quarterback. Purdy and Nix are there. Jordan Mason, Jonathan Brooks. We're going to go ahead and take a guy. I said I need another running back. And Jordan Mason, I do like in Minnesota. I think he's going to be the guy. But I'm going to go ahead and take Jonathan Brooks, take the upside swing on him later in the draft, hope that he pops off, and I think by Halloween he's going to be the RB1 in Carolina. Obviously, the talent is there, a tremendous athlete. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be a very, very big asset to my team. And so now we are looking at the final pick in the draft for my squad. We are going to go ahead. I don't think that we probably need another quarterback in this league since we have such short benches with only 4. And I think that Justin Herbert is going to be a top 5 quarterback, top 7 at the very worst. So I probably don't need any quarterbacks. Although I do like Kyler Murray late in the draft. I like Tyler Shough late in the draft. I like Baker Mayfield late in the draft. We'll look at the running back position. Zach Charbonnet, still on the pup as of right now. We'll see when he can get back. Tyler Algier, who knows what's going on with Jeremiah Love and his high ankle sprain. They're hoping to get him back early in the season, but I could see that being a 50-50 time split. I could see Algier getting a lot of the high-value touches, especially early in the season. He could be a good pick late in the season. Chris Rodriguez, we think Bashal Tutin's going to be the starter in Jacksonville, but I could see it being Chris Rodriguez. We'll look over at the wide receiver position. Jaden Higgins, Jalen Coker, Rashid Shaheed, and Denzel Boston. Denzel Boston is somebody that could be very, very valuable. Jalen Coker has shown his talent in his time with Carolina. That could be a good pick. We're going to go ahead and look at our team. We've got 4 running backs, and we've got 4 wide receivers, so really a true tiebreaker. We'll go ahead and take Crod. We'll take Chris Rodriguez and hope that he wins that starting running back role for a very good Jaguars team. That rounds out our team here in this 12-team PPR league. We are looking at Justin Herbert as our quarterback, Chase Brown, Kyron Williams as our running backs, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Brian Thomas as our wide receivers, Tyler Warren as our tight end, and DeAndre Swift, Cortland Sutton, Stefon Diggs, Jonathan Brooks, and Chris Rodriguez as our bench and our flex. Overall, not the strongest draft, but not the worst draft either. I really like some of those positions. I like starting the draft with Amon-Ra and Chase Brown. I think there's some high floors there for those guys and some extremely high upsides. My wide receiver 2 makes me a little nervous with Brian Thomas, but I'm hoping that he can get back to form. But again, that's what mock drafts are for. It's to practice. It's to iron out all the kinks before the real draft happens. And I'm thinking about doing more of these. You guys have seemed to like these mock draft videos. Maybe we'll jump on and do a live mock draft. I've been messing around with best ball a little bit. I'm not very well versed in that, but I've done a few of them and I'm really liking it so far. So maybe I'll do some live best ball drafts, but let me know down in the comments if that's something that you guys would like to see. If you maybe want to jump in a live draft, we could get enough of us together to do a live draft together and just see how it all plays out. Let me know down in the comments, drop a like, and hit that subscribe button. Again, we are trying to hit our first 100 subscribers here on the channel. Every little bit helps. And until next time, have a great one, guys. See ya.